Okay, this is code 2081, paper 2, 2019. Let's get started. Question number 1. The amount of money Ali earned here is proportion to the numbers of hours he worked. As it's proportion, so money will be increased. So with the same percent, the numbers of hours will increase and vice versa. Okay. So here, in one day, Ali works for 12 hours. Okay, for these questions, we just need to have to split the numbers of hours in a corner and another one for the number of money he earned with the same numbers of hours. Okay, for the numbers of hours he said as he earned here he earned, he worked for 12 hours for the edge, so he 12, and he earned 300. Okay, and he works a total of 45. So there is a total of hours remained of a total of 45. So if you work for 45, how many? And this is the easiest way to make a cross multiplication, just to get the missing part here, which will be multiplied by 300, multiplied by 45, dividing by the individual numbers here, which is 12. So all what we do here is saying 300. So here we say 300 multiplied by 45. Then we divide this number, dividing by 12. On your calc, work it will equal to 1125. 1125. Okay. And we did it, the first question. Let's see the next. Okay, in a different week, Ali works for X hours. Okay, so he started to make it harder. So right here, X hours, he works for an X hours. So in the same here, we can take a simple line and write X for X hours. Okay, and he earned Y money. So he earned Y money. Write an equation connecting X and Y, which is we have to use the I. And most of the time, you have to use I depend on I, and I depend on I. So this question depends on I. So we have to use the completed part or the given part. This would be better. Okay, so here we have to say a cross multiplication like this. So we're going to say that is the 300 multiplied by X, which is the numbers of hours, equal 12Y. And we have to get an equation connecting X and Y. So here we say that is, so here we say the third 300 X here, the 300X, 300X equal to 12Y. And here by dividing both sides by 12, just to kick the 12 away from the Y, so 300 dividing by 12, we have that is a Y equal to 25. Final answer. So the Y here equal to 25X. And now we connect X and Y with an equation, which the splitting way is the best way to solve these questions. Okay, the splitting may make like a plus sign like this. Like this, you make a plus sign, then you split the hours and the money he took, or anything, they give it to you, two different things. Okay, which graph represent here in number I? He asks you about the representative graph for the relation between X and Y. Okay, look here. Here, we say this is the Y will be equal to 25X. So here we are going also to make the X-intercept and the Y-intercept. Okay, so we say here, let's make it here, if the X and Y, and we split them with a plus sign like this. So if the X equal to 0 here in this equation, so if it's 0 multiplied by anything is equal to 0, so the Y equals 0. So we have to reject any graph that started from away from 0, 0. So this is started from 0, 0, and this is not started from 0, 0. So we remain these two parts. And that is the best way to solve the choices questions. So we have to choose between B and D now. So again, put the X with 1. When the X equal to 1, the Y equal to 25. And when the X equal to 2, the Y equal to 50. All what we do, is this Y equal to, I kick the X and put instead of it 1. So 25 multiplied by 1 is 25. Then if I kick the X and put instead of it 2, so it's 25 multiplied by 2. So the Y here is 50. You see? Is equal to 50, and so on. So here we have to choose. Here we have a 300. If the X equal to 12, the Y will be equal to 300. Okay, so here we have to choose this B. So we say final answer here in this graph. So when the X can extend this plus sign more, just to make it feel easy, when the X equal to 12, so the Y equal to 25 multiplied by 12, which equal to 300. So we have to choose this B as a final answer. So I equal to B. You see that's I depend on I depend on I, and I depend on the equation of I, and all are connected. Okay, and we solve all. Let's see the next. Question number B. Cairo has a population of 7.73 times 10 all to the power 6. The population of Cairo and Giza are in the ratio to 16 to 5. Again, the plus sign. We have to use it. So we have to say Cairo and Giza. So we say here abbreviation for Cairo. So we say C, and abbreviation for Giza, we say G. So we say C to here G. We have a ratio. So the Cairo here have a ratio 16 to 5. And make sure that we start with Cairo the same order. Cairo to Giza, Cairo to Giza. Okay. Work out the population of Giza. He gave you the population of Cairo, so we have a number for the Cairo, which is 7.73 times 10 all to the power. So we have 7.73 times 10 all to the power 6. Okay, and the same way we have here also to use the cross multiplication, right? So we say that's 5 multiplied by 7.73 times 10 to the power 6 dividing by 16. Work this on your calc. Okay, so we say that is 5 multiplied by 7.73 times 10 all to the power 6 dividing by 16 will give us a final answer and give it in a standard form. So I need it in the same form. So it will be 3.85 times 10 all to the power. Now this would be 2.24. Yes, 2.24. 42 times 10 all to the power 6. Okay, the total population of Cairo, Alexandria, and Giza. So here we add another part, which is Alexandria. We abbreviated for Alexandria. Okay, and we have to extend this part a little. Okay, just to be clear for you. And he said that is here he say that is the population of Cairo, Alexandria, and Giza is equal to 1.40 times 10 to the power 7. So we have another part of total. Okay, so we have to add another one, which is the total, and we have to make sure that we add it with the numbers. As organizing your paper, it's more likely to get the right answer. So here we have to add the T. What is T is the total of Alexandria. So we have here the total of Cairo, Giza, and Alexandria. We have a total of number, not ratio. Remember, that is a part of the ratio. You can write it. I write it just to know or not. That's for all for you, all for your working. That's for number and that's for ratio. In the numbers here, you have to write the numbers of total, which is 1.4 times 10 to the power 7. So we have a total of here. Remember that here we have the Giza is 2.42. We already did it. 2.42 times 10 to the power 6. 2.42 times 10 all to the power 6. Okay, and here we have 1.4. So work out the population of Alexandria. So it's easy, because we have to get the total minus the Cairo plus Giza. So what we do, we have on your calc, make 1.4 times 10 to the power 7 minus 7.73 times 10 to the power 6. You can protect this with a bracket, but it's fine if you don't protect it, but I prefer just you have to protect the multiplication here in a bracket. Some calc may get it wrong. And 7.7 minus also again, the answer minus 2.4 times 10 to the power 6 will give us a final answer of here. We get a final answer here of 3.85 times 10 all to the power 6. And all that's, we get it right as we organized our paper and analyze our question. Lesson number 2, complete the table for y equal negative x. So here completing the table, we have negative x squared, this is the equation, minus 3x plus 1. All that's equal to y. So all what we do, we have an x and we have on y, and remain here, we have to change the x. So we have to kick the x in some parts and put instead of it. So we have to kick the x here and start with negative 4. So say negative 4 all to the power 2 and put a negative sign outside, minus 3, and we have to put here, instead of x, we have to put negative 4. Okay. So here, minus 3 multiplied by negative 4 plus 1. As you work this, 4 to the power of 2 is 16, and we have a negative sign. Minus 3 multiplied by minus 4, which is plus 12, will give us here negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1 is equal to the y here. It will be equal to negative 3. Okay, as we started here, the y negative 4 and negative 3. So here it will be equal to negative 3. Then again, we do the same process. We kick the numbers here, the x input instead of it, negative 3, and put instead of it negative 3. So here we say my negative 3 all to the power 2, and here we have to kick this x and put instead of it negative 3. Okay, so here we have a negative side outside, and here we have minus 3 multiplied, and here we have plus 1 to give us the y. Let's calculate. So here negative 3 to the power of 2, which equal to 9, and we have a negative sign outside. So minus 3 multiplied by minus 3, which is plus 9 plus 1, it's clear that we kick the positive with the negative, so the y equal to 1. So negative 2 and 1 here. And which already we have it here. Then we have to do the same process. Or what we do, we just kick the negative. We just kick the x and put instead of it negative 2. So we say negative 2 here. And then we say negative 2. And here also negative 2. And protect them with a bracket. Here the negative 2 all to the power 2. And we have a negative side. And here the negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. And when we do this process again, we get that is we have negative 2 and 3 here. Negative 2 and 3 here. Okay. Then when we put a 0, which is the easiest way, we just kick the numbers all around x and multiply it, because here 0 minus 0 plus 1, so the y equal to 1, which we call it the y-intercept. Okay, so y 0 and 1. And when we put 1 instead of x, you have a negative 3. Okay, then you start to plot your graph here. Make it sure that you're plotting right. Okay, so here the first one we have negative and negative 4 and negative 3. So sharp your pencil well and start to plot the points with me here. So negative 4 and negative 3. So we'll mark it like this. Then negative 3 and 1. Negative 3 and the y is 1. And negative 2 and 3. So here we have negative 2 and 3. Yes, here is negative 4 and negative 3. Yeah. Okay. Negative 2. Here we have negative 1 and 3. Negative 1 and 3 here again. And here 0 and 1. The y-intercept here. And 1 and negative 3. Again. We have to connect it here. And you have to make it like this. And we plot it. Okay. For sure, he will ask about your plotting, just to make sure that you have use a graph to get the solution of x. And back to the graph paper here. So here we say that is the x here. We have two solutions for the x. Yeah, question number C. But here we have to get the value of x. These intersected 2 points. You have to check it in your paper. Okay, so that is the value and another value for x. Okay, by plotting this, we can say that is we have negative 3.3, I think, negative 3.3, the first one, and the second one is 0.3 here, 0.3. Okay, so here in this page, we have to write it. You have to ask you about your graph, just to check that you write it in the same way. So we have negative, first one was negative 3.3, negative 3.3, and the second one is 0.3, positive 0.3, 0.3. Okay, state the value of the maximum point. Okay, by the way, you can work this with the completing the square, and you can work it the same. So here, if we say that if we have to make it like completing the square, so we say that's y here will be equal to negative outside. So we say x squared, change all the signs, plus 3x and minus 1. We have a negative outside, so because we don't need any coefficient in the completing the square, we say here x here plus 3 out of 2 squared, and here it will be minus 9 over 4 minus 1. Don't forget that we have a negative sign outside, so we have to get this negative sign, and we have to use it here in this bracket. So this will be plus 9 out of 4 and plus 1. So on your calc work this, so 13 out of 4, so it will be x plus 3 out of 2 squared. Here we have minus plus 13 out of all. So we have negative 3 out of 2, which is negative 1.5, and 13 over 4. By using the graph here, as we did it, it was here, negative 1.5, and 13 over 4, which will be equal to, remember that here we have here 2 points equal to negative 3, and we started to join them like this. So here we have the midpoint, which is the turning point here. The turning point will be here. So we take it that it is negative 1.5 or 3 out of 2, and here is 13 over 3 and quarter, which will be 3.25. Okay, so that is the turning point or the maximum point here. You can say maximum, you can say turning. So here we write it. Here in this question, this was, as we use the graph, you have to fold it every time. So here we say it is negative 1.5 in the x, negative 1.5, and in the y it is 3.25, or 3.2, or 3.3 is fine, okay? From 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, or right, okay? And here was 3.3 negative and 0.3. Okay, draw a tangent to x equals negative 3. Use the tangent to estimate the gradient of the curve. Okay, back to our graph to draw the tangent and make x negative 3. So here is the tangent of x equal to negative 3. And here I want the gradient. We can take this point and this official point that we have at negative 3 and 1, just to make x here, negative 3 and 1. And this point is negative 3.4, negative 3.4, and 1, negative 3.4, and 0, yeah. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is the gradient. So the gradient of the tangent will be equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I see this y2 is here is 1 minus 0, dividing by negative 3. Write it here. That will be 1 minus 0 dividing by negative 3 minus negative 3.4, which will be here. We have to merge the sign. So the sign here would be plus here. So negative 3 plus 3.4, which will be 1 over 0.4. Here we have, so it's 1 dividing 4 out of 10. So it's equal to 1 multiplying 10 over 4, which is equal to 2.5. 1 times 10 is 10, dividing by 4, 10 dividing by 4 will be equal to 2.5. So the gradient here, we can move to the next page here. And say that here is the gradient of the tangent will be equal to 2 point. Okay, let's see the next. Question number 3. Yeah, here in 2018, Yasmin's salary was 45,150. She gave 1,200 from her salary to charity. Calculate the percentage of her salary. So here we have to make this plus or t, whatever you call it. So in 2018, she had 45,150. And here she gave 1,200. So you need to consider the percentage of 1,200, which easily make it 1,200. So here, dividing by the original 55,150, Then we multiply it by 100 just to be, because this will give you decimal and we needed the answer percentage. So multiplied by 100, it gives us a final answer of here. The percentage of this is 2.66%. 65 blah blah blah, and we have, you can make it 2GP, you can keep it as it is. I prefer to make it 2GP, it's fine, or you can write both, which is perfect, write both, the approximated to decimal places and the original number. Okay. Number B here, he asks you, does her salary in 2018 more than, is 5% more than, so the percentage here we have back to the T here, I should say that here it's was you can say here is 105%. So 2018 is 105%. Okay, and her salary in 2017 was 100%. Okay, because he said more than her salary in 2017. She gives 3% of her salary to charities. Okay, so we need to calculate first her salary. So we make this 45,150 multiplying by the 100%, dividing by 1.5%. 105, which will be decimal as 1.5. So I say 45150 multiplied by 100%, which 100 over 100 is equal to 1. And all this is dividing by that's dividing by 105, changing directly to decimal. This is which 1.05. Quickly calculate this. Give us in 2017 was on calc, it will be 43,000. So we're going to take this 43,000 and multiply it by 3%. And 3%, which is 3 over 100, which is 0.03 directly, give us the charities that she paid in 2017, which is 1,290. Okay, 1,290. Okay, let's see the next. Her salary will continually increase by 5% each year, in which year exceed 52,000. Okay, she has a salary of 45,150 in 2018. If you remember, that's in 2018, she has a salary of 45,150. So if it's increased by 5%, so we can say time multiplying this by 0.05 all to the power, for example. So if you try to make it for 2 more years, to the power of 2, give you an answer of 49,777, then some decimals, but that's not exceed 52. But if you try it here, 45,150, then you multiply it by the increasing percent, which 105%, 4.05 in decimals to the power of 3. So here it gives you 52,266.77 approximated. So here after 3 years, so here is in 2018, and here it will be in 2020. So this would be after 3 years, which will be 2021 as a final answer. So here it will be in 2021, it will exceed 52,000. And we did it. Let's see the next. Question number 4, a bag contains 50 chocolate with different flavors, toffee, nuts, and orange. Okay. The table shows the numbers of chocolate. Here, the flavor toffee is 10, the flavor nuts is 20, and the orange is also 20, which we have 50, total of 50 chocolate. I should take a chocolate from a bag catalog and give you an answer in a fraction of other probability that the flavor should take its toffee. So we make the 10 dividing by 50, which is equal to 1 out of 5. 1 over 5. And not orange, so we're going to take that is away from the orange. So we take the nut and the toffee, which will make 30. So we say 30 over 50, which means it is 3 over 5. 3 out of 5. And we finish. Make sure that you solve all the questions in one page before you leave it. Just check with your eyes. Okay, let's see the next. Completing the question number 4. Chocolate Asia takes its toffee flavor. She ate chocolate, so we take away 1 from the 50. So I'm going to take away 1 from the 50, which equal to, now the total, we have a total of 49. Ahmed now takes 2 chocolate at random from the same bag. So remember that we have toffee and we have nuts and we have orange flavors. Okay, make sure that find the probability that he takes the same flavor from these 2 chocolate. Okay, for the first one, we can say this is, it will be from the toffee. Remember that we have 10, 20, 20. Yeah, 10, 20, 20, but now we are going to have 9 from the toffee only because you already take 1. So here we have 9, and here 20 total and 20. Okay, so we are going to separate this. We get the toffee alone, then the nuts, then the orange, then we get the total, and the total is the probability. Okay, so first of all, we get the first one here. So the first one here, we have 9 here, 9 out of the 49, multiplying by, if they are the same, 8 over 48, 8 over 48. Then we get the answer. For the nuts, we have 20. So it will be 20 out of the total, which the new total, which is 49, multiplying by the 19 over 48 after taking the first one. Then the orange, it will be also the same, 20 over 49, multiplying by 19 over 48. Then we're going to calculate them all, get the total, and add them together. The first multiplying here, I gave you 3 over 98. For the second, 95 over 588. And the third, the same, because the same fraction with the same total numbers. So 95 over 550, 588. If you add them all, so we say 3 over 98 plus the 95 over 588 plus 95 also over 588. We give us a final answer of 52 over 147. 147. One question in one page, and we already did it. Let's see the next question, number 5. A potter uses clay to make X. I see that maybe we are going to do this T sign. Let's make it. Most of the question we have to use this plus or the T sign. A potter uses clay to make X pebbles and Y jugs. So we have for P, he abbreviated for the pebbles. He abbreviated is for X. Yeah. So the pebbles would be X, and the jugs will be Y. Okay, 99% from your right answer is your right analyzing of the question. Your right analyzing or understanding the question. Okay, she needs 600 grams of clay to make each pebble and 800 grams of clay to make each jug. So here we can say this, instead of here pebbles, we say this is 600x of clay, and here it's 800y of clay. Okay, to make has a total, if we add them together, they give us 10 kg of, which we mean 10,000. We have to change it to 10,000 because the 6 is 600 grams and the 800 is 800 grams. So here it will be 10,000 grams. So we have to unite the equations here. So that's 3x plus 4y equal to 50. So here we have this equation. So we say that is 600 x plus the 800 y will be equal to 10,000 grams. Let's kick the extra zeros here. We have each 2 zeros, so we make it 6x plus 8y equal to 100. So then divide them by 2. Dividing by 2, the 100 dividing by 2. That gives us here the 6 dividing by 2 is equal to 3x, and the y the 8 dividing by 2, which is 4y, and here it will be equal to 50. So we already did it, and so we can say this here, the 3x plus 4y less than or equal to 50. And we already did it. The Porter cells, each vowel has a profit of 15 and Jack has a profit of 30. So let's write here 15 each vowel, and the Porter buys this each Jack for 30 profit. She wants to make a minimum of 240. Okay, 240 LE. So when she sells the vowels and the Jacks right down and simplify equality in terms of X and Y to show this and okay. So here we have to get the right and inequality in terms of X and Y. So here we're going to say that is the 15 X plus the 30 Y. Now we are talking about profit or price. Before this, we have talking about the gram or the weight. So this is for the weight and that is for money, LE. Okay, so 15x plus 30y must be at least more than or equal to 140. And that is the equation as he wanted. But here we can simplify it. Dividing by 15. 140 is dividing by 15, so it will be equal to 16. So here dividing by 15, it will be x. And here dividing by 15, 30 dividing by 15 plus 2y will be more than or equal to 16. If you divide the 140 dividing by 15, it's equal to 16. Okay, the Porter makes at least 2 poles for every jug. So we have 2 here for every jug. So to be 2y for every x, at least 2 poles for every jug she make. Write down an equality in terms of x and y for this info. So we can say here that is x equal to 2y or more than or equal. Let's make it more than or equal because we needed an equality. At least it's more than or equal to 2y. This is the answer. X more than or equal to 2y. Okay, all that is okay. Here he wants you to the second page to draw these 3 lines, and we have to draw it because you see how many marks for this. It's very easy. All what we do, we just have to make y-intercept, x-intercept, y-intercept, x-intercept. So we make x and y for every equation. We have 3 equations. We have x and y, and the third one here, we have x and y. So all what we do, we have to make at least the x-intercept and y-intercept at least. If there is possible to make more points, it's fine. So here we're going to say this. Here we have the x, and here we have y. Also here we have x, and here we have y, and here we have x, and here we have y. For the x-intercept, we make the y equal to 0, and for the y-intercept, we make the x equal 0. For the x-intercept, y equals 0, y-intercept, x equals 0. So we make here 0 and 0. So the first equation for the first inequality was, remember it, that is, here we have x plus y, 3x plus 4y. The first one was 3x plus 4y more than or equal to 200. We are going to make it equal, just we needed the points. We are going to solve this for y. So we make the y is a subject in every one. Okay. Second was here x plus 2y, x plus 2y equal to 16. Is 16. And the last one was x equal to 2y. Okay, so let's solve this. As we said, we're going to make the y is a subject for every equation. So the new equation here, it will be equal to dividing by 2. So x over 2 equal to y. And we already did it. So no need for this. And the next one here, it will be equal to 200 minus 3x in both sides minus 3x in the left side, and in the right side minus 3x. So here it will be 200 minus 3x. And we can write it here, 200 minus 3x dividing by 4 equal to y. For this, I just take y is the subject, and no need for this now. And the last one here, we can say that is 16 minus x dividing by 2. I can write it here. This is the y will be equal to 16 minus x dividing by 2. And the 16 dividing by 2 is equal to 8. So it will be equal to 8 minus x over 2. Okay. And it's time to solve. Let's make the x 0. So here we make so here we can make here the x and here is the y. Now if we make here, sorry, the first x is 0, so we kick this, so it will be 200 dividing, no, this was equal to 50. For the original equation, it was equal to 50 dividing by 4, which is equal to, yeah, this was 50, so 50 dividing by 4 was 12.5. So the y-intercept here, we have to mark it for the first equation here. 0 for the x-axis and 12.5 for the y-axis. And here, when we put here equal to 0, so 50 minus 50 equal to 3x. So 50 dividing by 3, which is equal to 16.23. So the first line here, here it is 16.666. Can make it 67. So here we have to get the 2 points, and here we have to join them with a line. Okay. So this is equation number 1, which say that is y equal 50 over 12.5 minus 3 over 4x. Okay, I abbreviated here. So the second here, when the x equal to 0, so we say here minus, so it will be 8 minus 0, so the y here, it will be here equal to 8. So 0 and 8 here, mark it for the second line. Okay, and here when the y equal to 0, so x over 2 equal to, solve it for, so I say 0 equal to 8 minus x over 2. So bring the x over 2 here, so x dividing by 2 equal to 8. So x equals to 16. X equal to 16. Then it is 16 here, 0, and here is the second line. So we have to mark it here like this. Dinner just to be clear for you. Okay, the last one here, x over 2 equal to y. So actually when the x equal to 0, the y also is equal to 0. So the y-intercept and the x-intercept is the same, which is 0, 0. This is from 0, 0. So they have here a point of 0, 0. Here, 0, 0. And here we put, if the x equal to 0, so 0 divided by 2 is equal to 0. And if the y equal to 0, so it's also here. So here is 0, 0. But we need another point, so we can get any other 2 points, for example. Let's make when x equal to 10, for example, here. So the y equal to 5, and we can mark it this on the number line and extend this. So 10 and 5 here, 10 and 5 here. Okay, so it will be here, 10 and 5, which will be intersected here. Okay, and we're going to extend it like this. Okay, back here he said it is less than. So when he say the y here to be less than, so we need to mark it. The red one, the law. First he needed to first of all use a graph here, draw, and shape the unwanted region to show the inequalities. So the first inequality was here the y is less than, here is less than. So here so here the y here to be more than. So we're going to get it what is more than y. So take it this part with red. Okay, which is clear. I think it's clear. Okay. And here over the red line. So we mark all over the red line. And here the second one, the blue one here, which is the y is less than. Here the y will be less than. So we mark it as less than. So we go below the line. So we get the y is less than. So here this is the y axis. And we get it y is less than what he give it to us here. So we mark all less than here. Okay, which I think it's clear now. And for the last one, this green line, for this green line, it is here, we started from 0. Yeah, so it is more, the y is more than, and make it y just to make sure that you get it right. So we get the y is more than, so we go up the line. So we mark all what we up the line. And here, draw 3 lines on the grid and shade the unwanted. So all what we do, they want us to shade this. So this is the area you want us to shade. So I need to shade this part here. This will be the empty or the connected region, the empty port. And we are going to shade this. I think it's clear. The minimum numbers of poles she can make. For the poles, it's x-axis. For the poles, it's an x-axis. So back to the x-axis and say, see the minimum one here, which I think it's 8. So we write it, it is 8 here. And the maximum for the y here, the maximum y here, it is the highest intersected point here, which is a maximum for the y, it will be 5. And the maximum for the y, it will be 5. So we write it as 5. Make sure that you solve all the questions in one page. You don't miss A, B, C, or anything. And let's see the next. Question number 6 here, frequency. Okay, this table shows some information about the mass. Okay, of dates produced at each 100 pounds. So we have a total of 100 here. Remember here we have a mid-interval. If you need the mean, we have to get the mid-interval. And the mid-interval, we get it from the mid-number between 0 and 20, which is 10. And here is 30. And here is 50, and so on. Calculated the estimated mean, and here we find. So first of all, I get the mid-number. So here is 10, and here is and here is 30, and here is 50, the mid-number between 40 and 60. The mid-interval, we call it the mid-interval. So here, we call it the mid-interval, or the in-between number. Just know its name. And here is 65, between 60 and 70. And here, 70 and 80 is 75. And here, 80 and 100, which is 90. I'm going to take this mid-interval. Then we multiply the mid-interval by the frequency. Then we multiply the mid-interval by the frequency. 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 Then we get the final answer for this. And we add them all. So we're adding them all. So here, 10 multiplied by 50, by 5, which is 50. Then we add 30 times 100, which is 300. And here will be 1,000. 2 zeros, 500. 5 times 2 is 10. And 2 zeros is 1,000. And here 65 multiplied by 40. We add the 50 here. So here we add the 50 plus, we are going to take the total here, 300 plus 1,000. 2,600 plus 1,125 plus 900. Okay. To give us a total. And then we're going to divide them by 100 with the total numbers of the palm tree. So I'm going to multiply and divide them, all of these numbers dividing by 100. So here give us 5,175. Step by step, dividing by 100, and give us a total of 59.75. Okay, so here it will be 59.75. And here we want you to make the cumulative. Hence, it's clear from its name that we have to cumulate it, or cumulate it. So 5 and 10, which equal to 15. The first one is 5, then the second one is 5 and 10. The third one, 5 and 10 and 20. 5 and 10 and 20 here is equal to 35. And the next here will be 40 plus 20 plus 10 plus 5. And this will be equal to, yeah, 75. Then here, we're going to add 15 plus 40 plus 20 plus 10 plus 5. Or you add 15 to the 75, which will equal to 90. And the final answer must be the total, and the total are 100 pounds, so it must be 100. Last time we had 10 here. Okay, and we already completed here. Make sure with your eyes that you solve all the questions in one page, and let's see the next. Here he need you to complete the table. So actually I will get the table back again. Here I should go to, oh, So here, first remember that we have numbers here. There was 5 and 15. Here we have 5, then 10, and in the cumulative, it was 5 and 15 for the first two. So all what we do is writing here 5 and 15. And here is 15. So first of all, here it was the first spot was here. So here we have to focus on the second number. You have to don't care about the 0. So because here in your graph is 0 is less than or equal to this 20, 40, 60, 70. Yeah. So here we started from 20 to 5 and we mark it like this. And 20 here is a 5. And you have to make sure that you sharpen your pencil well. Okay. The second here is 40 and 40 you have to move to 15. And 15 it will be between 10 and 20. And from 60 to 35. From 60 to 35. And from 70 to 75. Here. 70 to 75. And from 80 up to 90. Yeah, up to 90. And actually from 100 to 100 is the end. And when connected, don't depend on your graph because you must test your drawing and most of your incorrect answer is come from here. So here now we did it. And this one method given just to make number of places that produces 72. Remember, first 72. 72 actually is between 70 and 80, but it's near to 70, so it may be 76 or 77. Okay. When you see in your graph, it may not accurate, but you have to get an estimated from here, from the graph. So it will be 70, more than 75 and less than 90. So it's maybe 80. So I have to make it here. And my graph is fine, but your graph maybe is confused and you cannot get it right. But you have to get it from the table itself. You have to back to the table. And actually, which is more than 80, it will be here 20. So I make 80 or 100 here minus the 80, which equal to 20, and 20 the final answer. Okay, and we did it. Let's see the next. Here is amazing question. Here the diagram show a pebbles by removing a small hemisphere. And remember the hemisphere, this is a sphere, but we cut it into half, so we call it hemisphere. Okay. This hemisphere has, so that is a half of a sphere. The sphere is a ball, okay? And here both hemispheres have the same center, so they have the same center because here we have small and here we have the large one. Okay, the diameter of the large hemisphere is 20. So here we have to say that is the radius, this will be equal to 10. And 99% from your right answer is your right analyzing for the question or understanding for the question. Okay, the width of the shaded surface ball is x. And here, so if you need to get this, so you can say the 10 minus the x. So this one, it will have a radius. So you can say here the radius of the small one. So you can say rs, the radius of the small one is equal to 10 minus x. And find and simplify an expression in terms of x and pi for the area. So you have to get in your answer x and pi. Because you say not for, you say and pi for the area of the shaded part. So for sure it's clear that this will be the area of the big hemisphere minus the area of the small hemisphere. And for the area of the big, we say it is, we have a rule pi r squared. So say it's here it will be pi r squared. Pi r for the big is 10 squared minus pi r for the small here is equal to 10 minus x squared. Okay. And all the working is here is how to get out from this bracket. Actually 10 squared, which equal to 100. Here equal to 100. And here it's x squared. And here in the middle is minus 20 x. All that is multiplying by pi. Okay, don't forget that we have a pi outside. Or minus pi. Okay, so multiplying minus pi. And here it will be 100 pi minus. So if we get a pi for each one, so minus 100 pi minus 20x pi and x squared pi. So let's expand. Let's expand this. And we say here 100 pi is this one minus 100 pi. We're going to keep them positive as negative minus 20 x pi. And here plus, here we have plus sign, plus x squared pi. And if we take pi and 1 pi and 1x out, 1 pi and 1x out of the bracket, so we say pi x outside the bracket, so remain here x minus 20. Here it will be minus 20, and here is x. So here x I, we get the area of x minus of the shaded part. Okay, and we did. Let's see the next. Here, the area of the surface of the shaded top surface is equal to the curved surface area of the smaller hemisphere. Don't forget this, we have the surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r squared. So the hemisphere, which is half, so 2 pi r squared. 99 of your right answer come from the great analyzing or the good analyzing for the question or understanding the question. So he said that the area that we already get it is equal to the curved surface area, which is 2 pi r squared. And here show that this equation. So all what we do, we're going to get out the equation that we already get it here, which say that is x pi. So we say here x pi, x pi multiplying by x minus 20 will be equal to the hemisphere, another sphere. Okay, so it will be equal to 2 pi r squared. And here we have r is square is equal to x. 10 minus x, remember this here we have in which is 10 minus x. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to say here which equal to 2 pi, and or here it will be 10 minus x squared. Okay, let's do this. What we do, we're going to expand. So here we're going to expand this x squared pi minus 20 x pi, and then we're going to expand the blue part or the red or the right side here, 2 pi multiplied by 10, which is 20 pi minus, now let's expand the bracket first. Yeah, here this bracket which equal to, if we expand it out, here we have 100 and 100 here plus minus 20x, and this is 20x and plus x squared. All this will be multiplied by the 2 pi, which is here, the 2 pi. So we're going to multiply by 2 pi. We can kick the pi in every one just to get rid. So kick pi, and we just make it multiplied by 2, which will be easier for us to multiply. Don't make the numbers exaggerate, even if you are using a calc. So 2 multiplied by 200, which equals to 100 is 200. 20 multiplied by 2, 40. Minus 40x, and here plus 2x squared. Remember this, we have another side, which it seems to you that they are equal, but they are not equal. Here we have x squared. Here we have x squared. Here we have x squared, and here we have a minus 20x. Okay, and yeah, back to discussion. Don't forget that here we have a negative sign, so this will be positive, and this x will be negative. Okay, so here it will be 20 minus x here. So here it will be 20 minus x. Okay. Yeah, and I insist that you can see this mistake just because of the sign. Make it up and down the equation. So it's 20 minus x here. So here in this part, here it will be 20 minus x. So when you say here, the left side here, we have a difference here. It's 20, which is 20x minus x squared. And now it's clear that we can change it on the other side. So here to be plus x squared, and here minus 20x. So we kick this and we make this minus 20x, and here plus x squared, as we do in the left side, we have to do in the right side. And here the equal sign. So let's add this. So let's organize this with 3x squared minus 60x and plus 100. All this will be equal to 0. Okay, and we did it. Okay, solve the equation. So here have a calculator, and you can get the final answer for this. which we cannot make it factorize. So you're going to solve it with your calc. Here we have an A equal to 3, B equal to negative 60, and C equal to 200. B squared minus 4AC is under here. You can calc here B squared minus 4AC. So here B squared minus 4AC is the number here under the divided to A, negative B, positive, negative. This is the rule, but I need to write the number here correctly because I prefer to write it here the B squared, which is 60 to the power of 2, or negative 60 to the power of 2, minus 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 200. Then I write this number directly under the root. The number under the root will be 1,200, and this is a perfect way to solve it with the rule. So here is 60 positive, negative. So here we have two answers. First answer with positive and the second with negative. Let's calculate. We can make it here. So the first one here, it will be equal to minus 60. Here it will be negative B, which will be 60, minus or plus root 1,200. All that's dividing by 6, which is 2 times 3. And here it will be 60 minus root 1,200 dividing by 6. So here it will be equal to 4.2, 0.23, or we can write it like negative 10 over 3 root 3 plus 10. Root 3 plus 10. And that is when you calculate and work it here, and then we can make this 60 plus the root of 1,200, and we get this answer dividing by 6. It gives us 15. And this 15, it will be rejected, 0.77, blah, 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 2GP. So it will be a reject, and you have to make it reject. You must see this because we have already, remember this, the diameter here is equal to, the radius only is equal to 10. So the 15 exceeds the 10. So this cannot be an answer. So the only answer here, we already asked it for 2GP, and we already get it 2GP, so it will be 4.23. And we did it. We solved the equation, get the value of x. Remember, there's x here, or this small part, and it cannot be exceed the diameter because with the radius, because the whole radius is 10. So it cannot, this blue line, this must be 4.23 and not 15.77. And he must see this is rejected. Okay, see the next. Number 8. He gave you a rectangular field, a length of 2 km and 3 km. Work out the area. When we get the area, we multiply the 2, multiplying by 3. We give that a squared meter. And here it's a squared kilometer. And here he tests your knowledge about, if you know this, the 66 kilometer, we have to change the squared kilometer to meter squared by doubled zeros, because in the normal way from kilometer to meter, we just add 3 zeros. But when we make it square, we have to double the zeros, and instead of 3, it must be 6 zeros. So here we have to put it 6, and beside it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, square mile. Remember the mile is 1.60. 1.6. Okay, so here in the square mile, and here we are going to apply for the plus sign, and here we're going to say the kilometer, and here is a mile. So the 1 kilometer equal 1.6 mile, and he gives you here we have 6,000 kilometer, and how many miles? We just make a cross multiplication and we get the answer. And here is a square mile, not a mile, so it's different here. Let's always write it again. Here he wanted the square mile. Remember, this is 1 square mile equal to the square mile. Mile to squared kilometer, squared kilometer. So we have to know it. This is 2.59. Okay. So 1 square mile equal to 2.59. So here we have 6 squared kilometer. Remember, this here is squared kilometer, 6 squared kilometer, and here we don't want to know this, so we make the 6 dividing. So it will be 6 dividing 2.59. to give us 2 point here 2.30 13, yes, 31, 32. Okay, let's make 32 straight line. Okay, stairs here. Stairs has okay, so they give you the height is 159, which means that is height so millimeter, and this is fine because he gave you 3 millimeter, and the length is 227 also millimeter, and it's fine because he needs the entering millimeter. The width here is 45 centimeter, and here is the issue because he needs the entering millimeter, so we have to multiply the answer by 10, and this is most of you leave it like wrong, so you have to be focused. Don't be focused that he don't give you the answer on a golden plate. You have to think and think and think. So here the upper bound and the lower bound. Here he gave you find the upper bound of the height, length, and width. So H, L, and W. So here we have an upper, which is 159.5, and the lower, it will be 158.5. And here we have this one, it will be like 227.5. Although this is clear. And here it will be 226.5. Okay, the last one here, which we have an issue. So it is actually, it will be 45 the 0.5 SCM. Okay, and here it will be 44, the lower bound, 0.5. But you need the upper bound, so we have to multiply this by 10. So here it will be 455 as a final answer. So our answer, we're going to take 159 for the height. It will be equal to, for the height, it will be equal to, yeah. Okay, it will be equal to 159, and that's clear, 0.5 per bound. And for the length here, it will be equal to 227.5, and it's clear. And the last one, as I said, we have to multiply it by 10 because it's cm, not mm. So we have to say that is the width, which have the issue here. It will be 55.5 multiplied by 10. Okay, you can write it directly for 55 mm. Don't forget that you have to give your answer in mm. Oh, so here mm, here millimeter, and here millimeter, and here we change it to millimeter. And make sure you solve all the question with your eyes at least in one page. Okay, just not to miss any part of your exam. And let's see the next. Here we have AB is a chord of circle in the center. Okay, and center pole. So we have a center. X is a point on the chord. Okay, X is a point on the chord AB. Angle O XP equal to 90 degree, which clear that also this is 90 degree. So that's the right angle triangle. For sure, we're going to use Pythagoras here. Here we have AX equal XP, which means this is a midpoint. You must give a reason. Prove that AX equal XP. So here we have a radius, and here we have a radius. And here we have a sharing point. So if we say this is here, here XP, so we have to say that is XP here. So we started to prove this with what I say. This we have A. We already have A, O, and O, A, B, O, our radius. Okay, ready. With a plural radius. Okay, so we are equal. Equal. Okay, that's part one. Part two, we can say this OX is a common. OX is a common side, and that's part two. So here we have two sides are equal, and we have the two into the angle OXA. And we have OXA equal to angle OXA and OXB equal to OXB. So triangle are congruent. Triangle. So triangle OXA congruent to triangle OXB. So ax equal to ax equal to xp. And it's clear. Okay, only one question in one page. Very easy question. Let's see the next. Question number 10. The circle here has a radius of 5 units and center of 10. As he give you a coordinate, he for sure will ask you about the question of the circle. The point x and y lies on the circle. Okay, on the circle, this point x and y. The distance p and q are shown in the diagram. So this is p, and this is q, and this is the radius 5. Okay, and this is also a hypotenuse. Okay, write down the equation connected b and x. Okay, here this x-axis p here is on the x-axis. That's more of this line, like the x-axis. Here we have 10. Okay, this point, and here we have x. So here the p here equal to 10 minus x. Okay, so here the p, you can say here p equal to x minus 10, x minus 10. So we need to connect p and x. So we can say here, we can say that is x minus p. So we can bring this here. This and p, make it here. So the x minus p would be equal to 10. And now we connected the x-axis. And now we want you to connect the y-axis in the second question, which is q. So here q will be equal to, so we can say here q equal to, here we have the y minus 12. Y minus 12. So you need to connect q and y. So I can say here, we can say that is, we can bring the 12 here. So y minus q, I get minus q here, and plus 12 here, and plus 12 over short here, and minus q. So y minus q equal to 12. Y minus q will be equal to 12, and we did it. Use Pythagoras to find the equation of the circle. So if we need to say that is here the x minus 10, the p, and the q. So I'm going to say that we're going to use this x minus p. So we say x minus 10 squared, which is the p squared. So I can say the p squared plus q squared will be equal to 5 squared. Okay, that is Pythagoras. That is Pythagoras. Okay. That is Pythagoras. Okay. So we say the p squared plus the p squared would be x minus 10 squared. So we do it x here minus 10 squared. Plus the q squared will be y minus 12 squared. So we say here y minus 12. And now it's clear that it's the equation of the circle. We can get it from Pythagoras squared. All this will be equal to 25. All this will be equal to the 5 squared here equal to 25. Make sure that you solve all the question with your eyes, just not to leave any question in one page. Okay, let's see the next. Very good question here. A different circle has equation x squared plus y squared. Find the coordinate where the line y equal negative 2x intersect this circle. Leave the source. So here he said to you that's equal to negative 2x. By substitute in here, x squared plus y squared equal to 16. So we can say that is x here. X here, we can say that is x squared plus, instead of y, we're going to put, he said that it's negative 2x minus 2x squared is equal to 16, and that is the equation of the circle. So let's merge this, expand this bracket. So I'm going to say that this is negative 2 will be 4, negative 2 squared, and here it will be x squared, and the negative will be positive. And here x squared plus 4x squared equal to 16. Like terms, 1x squared plus 4x squared equal to 5. X squared equal to 16. So the x squared now will be equal to, dividing by 5 on both sides, just to kick all the numbers around x, will be 16 over 5. So the x now will be the root of 16 over 5, which equal to 4 out of root 5. And he asks you positive, negative for sure. Positive, negative. So 1 positive over root 5. And he asks you to leave the cells. So there must be cells. Negative 4 out of root 5. And here we're going to apply for the y equal to negative 2x to get the value of y. We're going to kick the x and put instead of it here negative 4 over root 5 multiplied by negative 2. So the y here, negative 2 times negative 4 times that will be 8. So the negative here, it will be 8 over root 5, the same, over root 5. And now we are going to kick the x and put instead of the positive. So it will be 4 over root 5 multiplied by negative 2 will be equal to y. And now y will be negative 8 over root 5. And now we get negative 8 over root 5. We get all of it step by step. Okay, make sure it's only one question in one page that you solve it all. Okay, let's see the next. Here we have Hamid makes chocolate. It's a chocolate bar. Each chocolate in the shape of solid square right pyramid, edge of length of 1.5. So it has a square of 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. Okay, and or with all edges, so equilateral triangle and equal, and this is a square base pyramid. So we will get a great info from this. The top part is made of white. So this part is made of white, and he said this is 1 centimeter. Okay, and also, okay, the top part made of white, and it's also pyramid with a square base of 1 centimeter. So it's like big pyramids and the small pyramids questions, the same like the hemisphere. Okay, the bottom part is made of dark chocolate, so this is dark, and this is white. Okay, the white chocolate pyramid is shown below. So he exclude the small pyramid here and put it to you down here. Okay, so that the height of the white chocolate pyramid equal 1 out of root 2. Clear, very clear. This is 1 centimeter. Okay, and if you extend this, so here you have one for this triangle here. And if we're going to solve it by Pythagoras. Yeah. So we're going to say, let's solve it step by step to make it clear for you. Okay, so here is the height. Okay, and here is a triangle. Okay, I'm going to take this triangle out, which has a height, and this is equal to 1. And we don't know this. We don't know this. And let's make it here, right? So we don't know this part, which is this line. Okay, and make it like this. So we don't know this, but we can get it here. As here is equilateral, so here it's half. Oh. Okay, here we have height. We have first to go to get this side because we don't know it. So we make this triangle outside here. So make this triangle, and it's like 190 degree. Like we miss this part. Okay. So we miss this part because this is the height. So okay. So here we have a 90 degree, and here is equal to 1, and this is equal to half. Equal to half because it's halfway between here and here. This is a midpoint. Okay, so if we need to get this, this is here, so it would be 1 square minus half square, which equal to the square root. So let's call this x. This is 1x. So x here would be equal to the square root of 1 square minus half square, which equal to root 3 over 2. Okay, so when we get this, so we get this root 3 over 2. Root 3 over 2. And here is the height. And here is the hypotenuse. So the height will be 1. The height here, it will be equal to 1 square. The square root for sure, 1 square minus root 3 over 2 squared. All that squared. Okay, so it will be equal to square root of 1 square here on your calc. 1 minus here. Okay, let's better make it by the diagonals of the square base. So here we have a square base, and here we have a diagonal of the square. As we have here a square, and the diagonals of this square will be equal to here the diagonals. We just need this part of the diagonals, so we need the half of the diagonal. So the diagonal will be equal to a here will be side square times side square. So then we get to the half of it. So we say it is equal to 1 square plus 1 square dividing by 2. Okay, so it will be equal to here the root of 1 square plus 1 square dividing by 2. So here it's equal to root 2 over 2 to be equal to root 2 over 2. So this part will be equal to root 2 over 2. And here we have the height, the missing part here, h. Here we have h. And here we have this equal to 1. So now h will be equal to the square root of 1 square minus root 2 from Pythagoras, because here is the hypotenuse, which is equal to 1, and this is root 2 over 2, which clear is equal 1 out of here root 2. We did it. Let's see the next. Here he asks you about, need to calculate the volume of the white chocolate here. And the volume of the square base pyramid. So for sure we get it volume 1 minus volume 2. Back to the, here he needed this part. As he needed this part, he needed this. So if you need this part, so we get it from the big minus here. I wanted this part, so here we have the volume. So the volume of this part is clear that here we have 1 and 1, and we have a height of here 1. So directly we're going to apply for the rule, surge times area times height, which we say it here. So here we have a third, multiply by 1 square here, multiply by the height here, 1 out of root 2, which equal to 0 on your calc, 0.236 approximated for sure. So here it will be equal to 0.236 cubic centimeter, because it's volume. Okay, calculate the volume of the dark chocolate, giving the answer to 3 SF. Okay, for the dark chocolate here, so the dark chocolate, yeah, we get it, the whole volume here, the third multiplied by area of the base, multiplied by the height here. So here we have to get it, the height. Yeah, and the same way we're going to get it the root. So we have a base pyramid and a square base. So this square is 1.5 and 1.5 has a diagonals. So these diagonals, we have here this diagonal, and the diagonal is equal to, here is 1.5. And we just need just only this half of it. So we say 1.5, the root of 1.5, because this is 1.5, and this is 1.5. So 1.5 squared plus 1.5 squared, and we needed the half of it because we need half of this dividing by 2, which equal to 3 root 2 over 4, or equal to 1.5 over root 2. Okay. So here, yes, here root 2. Okay, and here we get it the height of this. So if we get the height, so we can get it, we can apply for the rule for the pyramid here, the rule of the volume. We say that it will be equal to third multiply by the area of the base, which is 1.5 squared, multiply by the height, which is 1.5 over root 2. Okay, on your calc, we'll do this calculation, which will give you 0.559 as a 3 significant figure. Okay, and we did it. Let's see the next. Question number 12, we need to expand. Here, very easy questions. So clearly we have to get the 2x first. So here we have 6x squared and 2x multiplied by -1, which is minus 2x. Then next step, we're going to take the -3, so it would be -9x and plus 3. Here we have to merge these like terms. So final answer here, it will be equal to here will be equal to 6x squared, as it is. 6x squared minus 11x, which is -2 and -9, minus 11x, and plus 3 as it is. And plus, okay, don't forget this here is squared. Okay, here if you need to factorize, here we have 9 overall squared, so it will be 3 x, and here we have a negative sign. So these are two brackets, one with positive sign and one with negative sign for y, we get the root. Okay, so that is with positive, and we make another one with just negative sign, so 3x minus 4y, and we did it. Okay, make r the subject here. Okay, so here, first of all, multiply by 2. So here, multiply on the right side, as we do in the left, we do in the right, and we separate the left from the right is the equal sign. So here we have 2s, and here we have the root, r squared minus 3. So let's square all of this. So here we apply for the square, just to pick the root. So here r squared minus 3, and here 2s squared will be 4s squared, and here is the equal sign. He needed make r the subject, so we make plus 3 in both sides just to kick the 3 here, so plus 3 kick it, and here plus 3. So here on the left side, 4s squared plus 3 equal to r squared. So r will be all of these under the root as a final answer. So now we apply for the root just to kick the squared with the root, and here will be final answer. So r will be equal to 4s squared plus 3 under the root. Okay, I did it. Let's see the next. Make sure you solve all your question in one page. Here, you have to focus in this question because you may lose marks because very easy questions. As this is outside the bracket, so we apply for the numbers and apply for the letters. So 25 expanded, split. When we split, so we split all to the power 2 out of 3, multiply by a. Here a, remember that's a all to the power 4, and you have to split it all to the power 2 out of 3, dividing by, here dividing by this b cubic also would be here b cubic all to the power 3 out of the, we say that it's here, it will be all to the power 3 out of 2. And now we split it, so that is a cubic root of the squared, a cubic root of the squared 25 squared. Okay, and here a and the 4 here, we can make it here 4 multiply by 2 over 3, which is a all to the power 8 over 3. He make it complicated, and he mean it to make it like this, 3 times 3 over 2, which is 9 out of 2. So dividing by b all to the power 9 out of 2. Okay, so after making this on your calc, you find the 25 squared on a cubic root. Sorry. So here, it will be 125, 125. So we take this a, here a, all to the power here. Yeah, 4 times 3 is 12. Yeah, and here 4 times 3 over 2, yes. 3 over 2, yes, it is 3 over 2. Here is 3 over 2, and here is 3 out of 2. So this will be a 3 over 2, which equal to 12 divided by 2, which equal to 6. So a all to the power 6. And here 3 out of 2, yes, which is dividing by here. Look here, if you look to that, here is 2/3. Yes, it is 2/3 multiplying by 2/3 multiplying with, okay, kick. So dividing by b individually, because we kick the 3 with 3 and 2 is 2. And we did it. Only one question in one page, and we did it. The last question here, very easy questions here. The triangle A is clearly is congruent. Why it's congruent here? The triangle is congruent. Why we have a shared side here. And here we have 11 centimeter, another equal side. And here we have this 4 centimeter, and this is this angle is 20. So they are congruent. So this angle, triangle are congruent. And calculate the area. Okay, if you needed to get to the area, so we say that is here. It will be equal 11 square plus 4, yeah, half. So it will be half. Yeah, it will be half times 11 times 4 times sine 20. Okay, do it on your calculator. is equal to 7.5 and another numbers, blah, blah, blah. So let's say 752 to GP, multiply it by 2 because here we have two congruents. Here we just make the calc this, then we're going to multiply it by 2, and multiply this by 2, which is equal to 15.048, blah, 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 which we can make it 0.05. I prefer to write the abbreviation with the approximated numbers and the decimal, the whole number, okay? Calculate the value of x. Okay, so x here would be equal to, back to the graph, here is x. So here we have this triangular. So we can use the sine rule to get the cosine rule, yeah, here. Okay, so for this x, we say that's 4 squared plus 11 squared minus 11, minus 2 times 11 times 4. Multiply by cosine 20 will give us x squared. So all this under the root will give us the value of x. So x here will be a big root of, as we said, here we have 4 squared plus 11 squared. Yeah, know it like this. And the cosine of the in-between angle minus, we repeated 2 times 4 times 11. All this on your calc, multiply by cosine 20. On your calc, you get it a value of here 7.37. The value of x approximated, and I prefer to write the whole number and the approximated as he doesn't ask for. Okay, calculate the angle y, and angle y here, as we get this x equal to 7, we can use the sine rule. Here is 7.37. We have to get this angle first. And how we get this angle? This angle is equal to this, and this all are 360 minus double a, or a and b. Okay, let's do this. So we say that is 11 over sine a will be equal to 7.37, which is x, over sine 20. Sine 20. So if you needed to get the value of angle A, will be equal shift sine, cross multiplication, 11 multiplied by sine 20, dividing by 7 point, the value of x, 7.37, shift sign. So we do this like sign. Okay, shift sign. So this will be equal to 61.4. No, not 61.4. Let's calculate on your calculator. Yeah, on your calculator, you will find it's equal to here 30.695. We can approximate 30.7. And multiplied by 2, so we get it 61.39. And yeah, because it's an acute angle, and we get it because of this angle. Maybe this is an obtuse angle, but he give you there is an acute angle, so it must be less than 90. Okay, make sure from this. And already we did it.